This is a presentation of Northeast Streaming Sports.
What's up, everybody? It's another episode of Coast to Coast. I am your host, Pags. I got Bo to my right. I got Jay below me. Hey, look at that. Look at that. Who knew that he was going to show up? And Statguy. What's up, everybody? How you guys doing?
Good. How about you, man?
I'm living a dream.
I low-key thought Jay quit. Like, I don't know.
No, low key, man. Tell you what, 2024 has gotten off to a really crazy start in my life. I don't know how y'all have been, but it's been nuts. Physically, it's just been a weird month or year.
Getting off? What do you mean? We're halfway through already.
Exactly. And I'm just catching up.
Well, let's start off with they released the picture of the ring that the Kansas City Chiefs are going to get. And first off, let me first say is I'm not a big fan of these. Hey, let's take the top of the ring off.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of that.
I don't like that.
Yeah, that's like ridiculous to me. But all right, okay, they're going to do it anyways. The back-to-back, I mean, I'm taking a look at it right now where the rubies are and stuff like that. It's kind of cool. This one, it doesn't actually completely come off. It just opens.
Okay.
So,
all right.
529 diamonds, 38 rubies. Yay.
Yay.
I'm not a big fan of that top coming off either. Just give me the ring. I don't need all that stupid crap. Just, damn. That's how somebody make a Swiss Army knife out of the damn thing or something.
Actually, with this one, it reminds me, like when you pull it up, it's like lifting the seat on a toilet bowl. That's what it reminds me of.
Nice.
So they got the toilet bowl ring. Nice. Good work on their part. In other news, Lawrence gets paid way too much money.
Oh, yeah.
No question. Highest paid guy in NFL history, which makes absolutely no sense for what it is he brings to the table, which means Tua going to get some money, and Dak is definitely 60 plus, right? Like there's no getting around it now. With Lawrence getting 55, Dak is 60 plus for sure.
I am so glad that Jalen Hurts set the market, and everybody had to jump above him.
Yep.
I mean,
but my thing is where does it stop?
It doesn't stop.
It doesn't.
It doesn't stop until, it doesn't stop until there is a situation where a quarterback is going to ask for X amount of money, and the ownership's going to be like, "No, you're not getting that." And once that ownership does that, that's when it'll stop. Otherwise, it's going to keep going up until someone's making $100 million a year.
Well, I mean, the thing is as soon as one does it, because the Cowboys are probably going to do it to Dak because they've shown no interest in paying the guy.
Mm-hmm.
A different team will. So, I mean,
you think somebody's going to pay Dak $60 million?
Yes.
Who thought they were going to pay Trevor Lawrence 55?
Bo and I talked about that earlier in the week where we basically said the same thing. The quarterback market is what it is. Yep. And we both said that Trevor Lawrence is probably going to get $40 million, even though he wasn't worth it, just because that's what the quarterback market is. I didn't expect him to get $55 million, but I thought he would get like around 5 at 200.
You knew he was going to get north of 40 because that's what Daniel Jones got.
Yeah.
Right. And he has proven zero things. So you knew that Trevor Lawrence was probably going to get, I was thinking somewhere between 45 and 50.
Yeah.
I thought he was going to be in that range. I don't think he should get that, but that's kind of the range I thought he was going to get. But if he's getting 55, there is no question in my mind that Dak gets 60 plus.
Yeah. CJ Stroud. CJ Stroud, if he has 3 more years like his rookie season, he'll be at 70 when that first.
Oh
comes.
yeah. 'Cause, I mean, you're years down the line, but I mean, when you look at Tua, he's going to make what Lawrence gets.
Yep, easily.
I mean, he's done everything Lawrence has done.
So looking at this right now, the salary cap is $255.4 million.
Okay.
That's what it is for the year. So Lawrence is getting 20% of that money.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, you can't win that way. Yeah, you can't win that way. But I mean, at the end of the day, that just is what it is. I mean, basically, these teams, if they want to win Super Bowls, they got to do it in the rookie contracts, because as soon as they get paid, they can't afford to put players around them unless they're going to do what Brady did and take a discount so you can still pay guys, or what Mahomes has done, where he's restructured to allow them to keep guys.
If you look at the NFL history, there's only been one team in NFL history that has won the Super Bowl when their quarterback makes more than 16% of the team's salary cap.
Yeah.
And that was
Who's
when
that?
Matthew Stafford, when he was with the Rams.
Yeah.
Otherwise, every team that's ever won the Super Bowl, their quarterback is making less than that 16% of the salary cap. Tom Brady was always around 10% because of all the discounts that he took. Patrick
I think
Mahomes,
the highest he was at like 14.
yeah, Patrick Mahomes was at like 3%, 3% for the first Super Bowl because he was under a rookie deal, and then he was at 15%, and then last year he went down to like 16% because of some of the pay cuts and stuff that he took. But yeah, like once a quarterback gets paid, like Aaron Rodgers, all these people, they won their Super Bowl under their rookie deal before they started getting to that 15 to 20% of the cap.
No question. Yeah. Now, the worst part is some of these guys are getting paid and they haven't won, which means they're not gonna win. So
Exactly right.
the only way, like Lawrence is a prime example, if he's going to win, it's going to be after this contract. If he is looking at his next one and is interested in championships instead of getting another top flight deal. This is provided that he doesn't offer something.
My common sense comes in, and I'm saying, if we're paying 20% to these quarterbacks and things like that, we really can't put, really good stuff around them because you committed so much to them.
Yeah, that's why.
How does the owner justify that in their minds? Like, how am I going to make a competitive team when the majority of it is being sucked up by my quarterback?
They're not trying for a competitive team. They're trying for fans in the stands.
Yep.
But how much do fans? Well, I take that back because Cowboys go and we're not winning. So I guess the fans will do it. You're right.
As long as you're interesting and you got a star, fans will show up. Mm-hmm. And at the end of the day, that's all they care about. Mm-hmm. Get fans in the stands, people buying merch, decent TV ratings.
As long as you're competitive enough to make the playoffs and you're putting fans in the seats, that's all teams care about for the most part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey.
Hi, Mom. How you doing? Rob.
What's happening?
Wendy.
How's it going, Wen?
David. Cedar Hill, Texas.
Nice.
Wow. I don't even know where Cedar Hill is. I'll have to look that one up. I heard that city.
No,
but yeah, it just blows my mind, man. I mean,
you got to be competitive. But the thing is people, even when Rodgers was terrible his last year in Green Bay, people were still watching. They're still tuning in.
Yeah.
If your quarterback is a big enough star, even if the team isn't good, people will still tune in.
Yes. I know that the Eagles fans are not going to, when they're doing bad, actually they tune in more because they want to bitch.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing, right? You can't be that 8-8 team. That just makes everybody mad. But if you're good, people tune in, or if you're really bad, people tune in. In fact, some of your competitors tune in even more, kind of like our hater show. They're like, oh, I'm just showing up to complain about everything.
Yeah, I just hate the whole damn thing. Honestly, I love sports, but this is the part of sports that I hate. It's just I feel like they get paid way more than what they really should be. I mean
they do touch the ball every play.
And they do. You're right. They do.
Quarterbacks do hurt the rest of the team as far as earning potential, which is why you see the guys that win are the ones that ultimately end up taking discounts so that they can pay other guys on their team because they're interested in rings instead of being the highest paid guy to ever play.
Right.
I mean, the travesty is like you're thinking about that, and then I think about how much you're making on this show, Jay, and how much I'm making on this show, and the fact that it's the same is ridiculous.
There is no question.
So, I'm just letting you know, like I've made just as much money as you have on this show, and it's really bothering me. Anyways,
well, I mean, hey, I'll give you the number of my shrink if you really want to talk about it. We can have a come together if you wish.
Yeah. Hey, listen, I don't know if it's going to raise my salary any.
We're just saying you should come together more often than like
exactly.
Hey, but you know what it really means, Bo? I just think Packers needs a better agent.
Yeah, I sometimes say that myself. But,
I got to give Kirk Cousins a call so I can get his agent.
Oh, yeah, no,
And that might be considered tampering. We may we may lose a draft pick because of that.
That's all right. We'll drop one of the 4 a.m. shows that nobody watches.
Yeah, exactly.
And
maybe we'll just drop an hour. Take an hour off.
Yeah, the next hour, in fact.
Exactly.
And
starting today, damn it. That's
now.
it.
Right
and
now.
then for Rob's one comment in there, I actually want baseball to go with a salary cap as opposed to football getting rid of the salary cap.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Because I'm getting sick of teams like the Pirates, the A's, the Guardians, the Rays, and all these teams that are carrying $35-40 million payrolls, and you have like the Dodgers and some of these other teams closer to like $400-500 million. Just set baseball at like, even if it's $200 million, set a $200 million payroll for every team in baseball. That way, obviously every team is not going to be as good as every other team, but at least if every team is at $200 million, it kind of levels the playing field a little bit more.
So the thing about that is the A's are still only going to do $35 million.
Yeah, they're still only going to do $45 million, but you're not going to be able to like have teams afford like these $300 million contracts anymore unless everyone.
But the $300 million contracts haven't even won the damn World Series.
Unless they go with the trophy route where they defer everything.
I would say if the $300-400 million teams were winning these World Series, I would say that's a bitch. But in all honesty, the lower price payrolls are actually winning the damn World Series. So if anybody should be bitching.
Yeah, but historically that's not.
No, but if you look at it though, like if you look at the teams in the World Series, even like the last couple of years, Texas had one of the highest payrolls last year. They won it. Arizona did not. The year before that, Houston and Philadelphia, both massive payrolls, both got to the World Series. Atlanta has a big payroll, not as big as what some people expect because their GM was a genius when he gave Ronald Acuna that extension and Ozzie Albies that extension for super cheap, but otherwise they would have a massive payroll. So at least one of the two World Series teams typically is a top 4 payroll in baseball the last 7 years. It's that other team where it kind of varies.
Yeah,
I don't know. I remember when Tampa won it, and their payroll was almost at the bottom.
Yeah, that was 2020, but the Dodgers faced them in the World Series. Dodgers were the number 2 payroll that year.
I mean, you can still pay all these people all you want, but if you don't have that team chemistry or injuries or what have you, it still doesn't matter. I think the Mets and the Dodgers have both. Well, not the Dodgers; they're still in it right now. But the Mets of last year, I think, proved that even though you have $400 million payroll, you can still be at the bottom of the standings.
Well, I mean, yeah, if injuries can get anybody, so that, that's not really a fair comparison. But I mean, when you look through the history of baseball, the teams with the highest payroll generally do the best.
Unless you're the Yankees.
I mean, the Yankees had a run where they were paying for all-star teams, and they won a lot of rings.
Right. And listen, the last person I know that actually was able to buy a ring was Wayne Izenga from the Marlins back in like 96. I think that's when they did it. Yeah. It had to have been like 96 or 97.
Was it 97 or 03?
97.
Okay. Because the 03 Marlins team was pretty loaded, too, with some of the players on that team, because that's when they had Pudge, they had Derek Lee, Miguel Cabrera.
Yeah, 97 was the Darren Dalton. They traded Darren Dalton to Florida. And he walked into that locker room and says, all right, this is my locker room now. There ain't no more bullshit. We're here to win a ring, and that's it. And he got his ring, and I think he retired from baseball right afterwards.
I mean, that's a good way to go out, right? Get a ring.
Yeah.
Well, he didn't last much longer. He wound up dying of brain cancer. So.
Oh,
damn.
Yeah, just it wasn't much longer after that he had passed. But the Darren Dalton Foundation does some amazing work though in his honor. Uh, and the wife is still very a lot part of the team. So
Oh, okay.
like they do a lot here in Philadelphia. But so yeah, I mean I think that so. But going to like hockey has a salary cap, and I think their salary cap sucks. By the way,
Yeah,
I
it's like
think it
81.
really
It'll
does.
be it's like 74 million this year. The next year it's going to 81.
Yeah, which I mean, all that being said, it's not even enough.
No, it's not.
So you wind up. I mean, how do you pay these guys? I guess you can't really pay them. But then you have a team like Arizona who was taking on contracts just to hit the minimum. They would take on like people's dead money, like players that you were still paying. That's like Chris Pronger. We were paying Chris Pronger till like 3 or 4 years ago. Now they took on that contract because they needed to be able to get to the minimum because all the people that are on their team didn't make any money. I think they needed to get to like $40 million. So they were taking on contracts to.
And the
get
crazy
to that.
thing is, they made it to the damn World Series. Go figure that one.
No, I'm not talking baseball. I'm talking hockey.
Oh, hockey. I apologize.
Yeah, the Arizona Coyotes this year had like a.
I forgot Arizona had a damn.
Yeah,
like
they
the
had
Coyotes.
their payroll. Their payroll is 43 million this year, but their payroll itself is only 8 million. The other 35 million came from like dead money contracts that they just took on just to get to that 43 million. So they actually, out of their own pocket, they only owed $8 million to their roster.
Oh wow!
I was going to say that just lets you know how bad the landscape is in the MLB if a hockey team gets to the World Series.
Yeah, no
Yeah,
shit.
exactly.
But I thought Arizona wasn't the Coyotes. They were trying to leave Arizona, right?
They did. They're in
They
Utah.
did.
They're now called the
Oh,
Utah.
that's right. That's the
Hockey Team.
Utah team. Okay,
The Utah hockey team of 2024 is what they're.
that's
called.
interesting.
They're the Utes.
They're not even the Utes. We are the Utah hockey team.
The Utes.
UHT.
Which only just goes to show that they didn't put enough marketing behind it, and they want to make it a game now.
Yeah.
So somebody is going to wind up making a little bit of money or get some free season tickets for a year for naming the team.
I wonder why they just didn't keep the Coyote name until they figured out a name that they
NHL
wanted.
has trademarks on that name in case Arizona gets a team again.
Mm.
If
Oh,
Arizona gets a team again, they get to be called the Arizona Coyotes again.
That's interesting. I wish the Houston Oilers could have done the same thing. That would have been nice.
Yeah, but you got the Texans, so that's super cool.
Did you see the colors for the Utah Hockey Club?
Yes.
It literally looks like Minnesota United with like black, white, and like a light blue.
Yeah.
Huh. Well, they really put a lot of thought into that.
Yeah, the Utah Hockey Club is a boring name, but they're going to be called something different after
this year. They expect to have the name picked by March of 2025.
It's just another team that's doing what Washington did and is going to make their fan base mad because they're changing it a bunch of times and you got to rebuy all your gear. It's dumb.
Well, especially because they're going with black and white.
Yeah.
Black, white, and blue. Yeah.
Black, white, and blue. Yeah.
That's horrible.
Yeah.
It's funny because the first thing that popped up on my phone was, the response is really to the colors.
I mean, if you're gonna be that bland, you might as well have General Mills, sewn into your jersey.
It's actually worse. It just says Utah at an angle across the.
I mean, the light blue color I don't mind, but the black and white with it, that doesn't work. That light blue, I think, would have worked.
They don't have a state on the I figure at least put the state on
the
the jersey.
The shoulder patch has the state where it has the Utah state logo in black, and then across the state it says Utah, but nothing on the front of the jersey, but just like the sideways.
Yeah, it's like a pageant banner. It's just Utah.
Miss Utah.
That's exactly it. It's a pretty dumb looking jersey.
It sounds pretty dumb.
Yeah.
So good for them. I'm glad that they were able to get that all worked out. It's like black, white, and blue. That's just sounds perfect.
I mean, it seems like with colors like that, the blizzard would have made sense.
Yeah.
What's your color scheme? But instead, it's Utah. Man.
I mean, hell, if they really want to make a part of the state, they could call themselves Utah Mormons. That'd have been great. Peter the whole masses.
That's right. They can beat you and save you at the same event.
Hand out Bibles, the little Mormon Bibles.
So, does anybody think that Dallas will win tonight?
No.
Not based on what we've seen.
No.
Yeah. In fact, I think both finals series.
Yeah, I think both. I
ultimately
think
end in
yeah.
No.
I thought Edmonton was going to get last night. I think it'll be a sweep now that they didn't get last night.
Yeah, I think both finals end in sweeps. Like the other team's just not playing well.
Yeah, I said to somebody yesterday, I'm like, what's the over under? And I says, I bet you this is an over. I says, I still don't like Edmonton. I still would bet Florida, but I would do Florida and the over on that game. And damn, I would have won some money.
Yeah.
And Edmonton played well last night. Like last night was the first time that they've played well the entire series, and it still didn't matter.
Yeah. No, exactly.
Yeah, well, I mean, all the shots on goal didn't make a difference. You know what I mean? And they scored 3. They just let up 4. And this is why it's a problem. They needed a goaltender. They needed to pick up somebody, and I guess that doesn't matter. You know, they thought they could win it with all speed and good looks, I guess, and.
Yep. Well, and then when it comes to the Mavs, they had a open practice, and none of them came out. I guess their shooting is good enough. So they just had their trainers out there shooting baskets because none of the team members decided to come and shoot.
That's ridiculous.
Right?
That just shows you the lack of effort on their part, or lack of heart on their
and you're
part.
not going to come out for a shoot around? That is insane to me.
It just shows that they have no heart.
Yeah.
That's sad. We didn't have that little bit of a heart. And I'm sorry, but Luka has now been exposed. I mean, and I didn't realize how bad his defense was until I saw this. And I'm like, he's just a one-trick pony. If you attack Luka, that's the secret right there.
Yeah. No, he'll foul.
It's ridiculous. And then he looks at the damn bench like, why aren't you call? Like, bro, stop messing with the officials. That's why you know.
Well,
even
then
LeBron knows that.
Half of his shots now, trying to get
Yeah.
to the line, which I mean, fair enough. Nobody else is shooting very well. So I mean, if you're trying to generate offense however you can, I guess, cool. But the fact that that's the effort you're seeing out of a team that's down 3-0 makes you think that they're gonna probably get beat up tonight.
Yeah, and it also shows the lack of leadership within the team. Because leaders would have been doing that. They would have been there.
Well, I mean, but your leaders are Luka and Kyrie, and we know Kyrie isn't.
Exactly. That's my point. They have lack of leaders.
But not only that, I mean, realistically, I mean, they made it there, but since this team got sold from Mark Cuban, they've just been so-so.
Yeah.
So, Mark might have put a fire under this, like, hey, listen, everybody shows up for practice. If I'm going to work, you guys are going to work.
That's right.
So,
yeah, I mean, the thing is we're not going home yet. We still got a game to play. So let's get out there and pretend like we still want to win. But, based on effort that we're seeing, they look like they've already packed it in. So I would bet that they get throttled in this one.
Yeah.
Got you.
I mean, the fact that they haven't even made it to 100 points.
No, exactly. Exactly. They probably do put up 125.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. I mean, Tatum and Brown, they want this. They want it more than anything. I mean,
Tatum hasn't actually played great.
Yeah, I don't think Tatum really cares at this point. Brown's the one that's playing like he wants it.
Well, that's true. I don't know. I mean, Tatum put up what, 30? 31 the last game. I mean,
yeah, Tatum had one of his better games, and Kyrie had one of his better games.
He did.
Because Kyrie was missing in action the first 2 games. But, like we said yesterday on the show, where he came up short were key moments in game 3, where he just couldn't seem to track the ball, was out of position, and gave up easy threes. So, I mean, Kyrie, although had a decent shooting day, his defense, when it lacked, was in key moments.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah. So I think I agree. I think it's over tonight. I just was like, do I even want to watch? Probably not. I could care less.
I'll score Chase. I'm not going to watch it.
Yeah, I think that's probably what I want to doing.
Actually,
Yeah,
I take that back. I'm probably going to meet a buddy of mine for beers, so it'll be on a screen because we're probably going to go to a sports bar. So I'm sure it'll be on.
It's
But
not,
that's not gonna be like
and I
your-
hope you're not going to the place that shall remain nameless now.
I am not. I'm going to
See
go
what
to
happens. See what happens now that you didn't sponsor us. You don't even get our, you're not only lost us as a free sponsor, you lost us as a patron.
Well,
you
I mean,
feel good
only
about
sort of,
yourself
because
there,
I did actually go
BWW.
there. I did actually go there yesterday for lunch to meet a buddy of mine. So.
Damn, Bo, you crossed the line.
Ah.
You know we're striking, Bo. You crossed the line.
Ah.
Where's the scab? We need a scab in here. Can we get a
Yeah,
scab?
it was all right. It was all right.
Need a rat. Need to be the big inflatable rat.
Well, then I could have got some free food. That would have been cool. But no, going to this.
Bo, doing that kind of stuff is what gets you buried in concrete back in the day.
Well, then, I don't have to worry about getting my knee fixed. So, win-win. But yeah, no, I'm going to go to this. It's a cool little bar up in the Snohomish, Washington area called Collector's Choice. If you're from the town that it's in, it's CCR. But going to meet a buddy of mine up there, so that'll be cool. If you're in the neighborhood, stop by CCR. Say hi.
There you go.
Little plug for CCR.
I don't know where CCR is, but sure.
It's in a little town of Snohomish, Washington.
Snohomish.
Snohomish.
Interesting
So
name.
yeah, it's about 40 minutes from Seattle, unless there's traffic, and then Seattle can be 40 minutes from Seattle.
Yeah, I was thinking that exact same thing, thinking about the cement shoes.
Yes.
I don't know. There was the vision of Bruce Willis, with his feet in the bucket of cement that they wind up doing there, and throwing him overboard. I don't know what movie that was, but the mobster in that movie was Dustin Hoffman.
Oh, wow. I don't think I've ever seen that one.
I have. I don't know what the name of it is, but
it's like the Legend of Billy Bathgate or something like that. It's like this kid. It's a story about the kid. It's not the story like who's like a helper and happens to be at the right place at the right time. Winds up, not getting killed when they kill Dustin Hoffman off at the end.
Yeah, because that was a '90s movie, as I recall.
Yeah, it's definitely '90s. But yeah, it might be the Legend of Billy Bathgate. I think for some reason that's what sticks in my head. I'll actually look it up real fast.
I have a hard time imagining that Dustin Hoffman playing the role of a mobster. I mean, that's so interesting. I mean,
Dustin Hoffman.
he is a good actor, though. I mean, he has played a
Billy
lot of
Bathgate.
different things.
Billy Bathgate film.
Yep.
Yeah, look at see.
Billy Bathgate.
Look at me knowing my stuff. It wasn't the Legend of, though. It was.
That's a good show. That's how you end on a high note. Turns out it's a 30-minute show.
Well, actually, since we're at the bottom of the hour, we are going to have to take our station identification break now.
Absolutely.
I mean, look at this. See, this is what happens.
Where are you at the bottom of the?
Yeah, it's coming together. It's coming together.
See, this is what happens when we actually have stuff to talk about. We actually talk for a second and not have to, choose stuff to just go ahead and say for a minute. But give us just a minute, and we'll be back right after these commercial messages. I mean, you can see right now, without LeBron, Lakers are struggling.
Let me tell you about a team I hate, all right? I know the Dallas Cowboy fan is here, so I had to make sure he knew how much I hate this
Oh,
team.
I'm ready.
I've often said that the people who run baseball, they try very hard to ruin it.
I'm from Brooklyn. I don't have a problem saying it to his face. Oh, I'm from Brooklyn. Hey, get us any.
The garage. It's the mother of invention. A place where we chase our dreams and live our lives. At the intersection of hard work and innovation, it's the garage that brings our ideas to life. It's the heart of the home. The place we find comfort, where we create lasting memories while living life to the fullest. Garage beer. The everyone's, everywhere, everyday beer. This beer was built for every garage, every cooler, every laugh, every cheers, and every moment. Make the moment last forever. Lift one to life.
Supporting the needs of our veterans. That's the goal of all of us at Team AmVets. Like Mitch, Carlos, and Kevin from our Welcome Home team that brings furniture to our vets.
We are Team AmVets.
Or Linda from our thrift stores who brings you great bargains every day.
I am Team AmVets.
And John, who picks up your thrift store donations that support California veterans programs.
I am Team AmVets.
Visit our website or a Team AmVets thrift store to donate or shop today.
Join the team!
This is a presentation of Northeast Streaming Sports.
This isn't a game, Marty.
Nope, not a game.
Hey, so when is your alcohol coming out?
It was funny. I just had a conversation about it. We're running into a little bit of red tape issues.
Yeah.
And I'm working on it. So I don't think I'm going to make the deadline I predisposed to myself.
I got you.
Unfortunately.
I got some spots that I need one of those bottles over here.
I can use one too now. Hey, is it a whiskey? Is it a vodka? What type of liquor are we making?
It's vodka type.
Okay.
It's not quite a vodka. I can't call it a vodka because vodka distillation is very specific, and we are not following those distillation properties. So I can't call it a vodka. It's a liqueur. But it's that's just what I can call it.
So it's got a lower alcohol volume.
Vodka has to be 80 proof. This is not going to be 80 proof. I got it at 76 proof. I may lower the proof depending on first response, because I just realized that Fireball is only 60 proof.
Yeah.
And going with a higher proof doesn't always mean better.
Right.
So
no, absolutely.
Is it brown bag worthy? Is it coming in a plastic bottle? Like what part of the shelf are we doing here?
Yeah, actually, this is one of those things where once it's out, you're going to mix this with water or iced tea. You're going to make it dynamite water or a banging iced tea.
I gotcha.
Yeah, I got it.
Oh,
so
interesting. Okay.
Yeah, I would have loved to have been able to get it out in time, but it's just going to London kind of slowed down the process. And then when I came back, obviously my partner in this, he's got the big pickle fest this weekend. It's the Big Dill happening at Xfinity Live. So anybody who's going to be there, I would have been there, except I'm going to be my first experience over in Camden Yards.
That'll be fun.
Yeah, it should be a good time.
Okay. Yeah.
To watch the third best team play right now, what would be considered the second best team, because the loss yesterday actually put us, I think, a half a game down on the Yankees.
Yeah, the Yankees. The Yankees have turned it on.
Yeah, that whole bringing Juan Soto and stuff in. I mean, I don't know.
I tell you, so I think they're peaking early.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of expected that the Phillies were going to go on a little bit of a losing streak here. That once you come back from London, I know how I feel, and I got to imagine they don't have a day off now for 21 days. It's going to be, I think that they're going to struggle for a little bit, but it all comes around.
Yeah,
that long of a flight, it does have it has a way on you. When I went to Japan and I came back, I felt it for sure.
Yeah, it's like getting there was like okay. Like I can't sleep on a plane, so you know, I don't know. I'm afraid all the snakes are going to come out of the plane from that one movie.
On a plane.
You know, I'm tired of these MFing snakes and these MFing plane. So, but
I mean, since we're talking baseball, let's talk about these Astros.
Oh man, let's not. I mean, that's
well, listen, Jay, we haven't had a chance to talk to you for a little while. So,
no. If you want to talk about it, we certainly can. I think Robert was asking my thoughts about the Mariners. Let's start with the Mariners, then we'll go into the Astros. This is easier that way. He was asking my thoughts on the Mariners. And my buddy's a Mariners fan. And we were talking about them yesterday, and he said he's not really impressed with the Mariners. I haven't really watched them enough, but they're doing well. I think they're 7 games up over Texas. We'll see if they can hang on.
So they're 5.5 up over the Rangers.
5.5. I'm sorry.
They're 8 over you guys.
Yeah.
And what the thing is, what they have going on is something we've talked about so far this whole season. Is their bats aren't amazing, but the pitching has been fantastic. And
right.
Which is fine, but they better be buyers at the trade deadline because
absolutely.
They need a bat. They need a bat.
And the thing about it is too, Bo, I mean, let's be honest, man. This division right now is not exactly quote unquote a great division. I mean, anybody could look good right now. If you take anybody out of
the M's are the only one over 500.
Yeah, you take anybody out of the Yankees division and put them in our division, and they're going to look amazing. I mean, it's so I don't want to. It's hard to make it on the Seattle right now because it's a little skewed because of how weak the division is.
I mean, the M's would be 3rd in that division.
Yeah, so I mean, it's a little skewed, right? I mean, they're in it, but it's kind of like the Twins division last year. Twins and Guardians. Nobody really paid attention too much to them.
Interestingly enough, they would be 3rd in either division in the AL.
Yep.
Interesting.
Yeah, half a game. They'd be half a game back on the Royals.
Yep.
In that as well. So literally, it's the best division in baseball. I mean, it's not even like the Red Sox are now just a game up over 500. Really, the AL Central could actually be looked at as the better division.
The only reason they're not is because the Sox are so bad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, if you took the bottom one out.
Well, that just goes to show you the state of baseball this year. Where like last year you had the AL East had 4 teams that were 10 games above 500. The AL West had 3 teams that were battling for a playoff spot until the end. And now this year, it's like the AL East and the AL Central and the NL East are the only divisions where you have multiple teams that realistically can be considered playoff teams right now. NL Central is terrible. NL West is terrible. AL West is not. I mean, they're not great, but I'm not going to say they're terrible because I think Texas is a better team than what their record is. I think Houston's a better team than what their record is, even though they haven't played well. Same thing with like some of the teams in the AL East, like Toronto, struggling, but I think they do have the roster where they can turn it around. But right now, it's like the AL East and the AL Central are the 2 best divisions in baseball, top to bottom. Because after the Braves and Phillies in the NL East, the rest of the NL East is terrible.
Here's my thing though.
And the Braves are quitting.
Yeah, the Braves are quitting after once Acuna Jr. went down. You kind of saw the Braves kind of get that mentality that's like, oh, let's just pack it in this year. Phillies have played so well. Let's just worry about getting a wild card right now and take our chances that way.
I don't think they're even going to make the wild card. I think they fail.
You know what makes me upset though, but the Astros specifically is we've taken quite a few injuries in the pitching area. You go out and you watch Trevor Bauer's bullpen session only to not make him a deal, and I'm like, why?
Because I've said this on the show.
And I'm like, come on.
I've said this on the show for months now. The commissioner had to have said something or had to have made it a point where all the crap that Bauer talked about the commissioner for the last couple of years, this is his punishment. He had to have said something from keeping these teams from signing him.
Yeah, because honestly, we are desperate for pitching, and Trevor is killing it right now.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you look at all these teams that are in desperate need of a starting pitcher, and you look at how well Trevor Bauer even pitched last year when he was in Japan. You can't tell me that he wouldn't fit well with any of these franchises that need starting pitching help right now, especially on the veterans minimum deal. The commissioner.
I don't even understand why would Houston even entertain watching the bullpen if they knew that the commissioner felt that way? Why even go down there?
The commissioner had to have said something, or somebody in the higher ups of baseball had to have said something to get it through these owners' heads that Trevor Bauer was not welcome at Major League Baseball right now. It's the only.
Can't let that get out, though.
I know they can't let it get out.
Oh, Lord.
I know they can't let it get out, but like all the signs are pointing to somebody has said something to keep him out of baseball because the numbers.
Yeah, because you can't play that well.
The numbers that he's put up the last 2 years and the way that he's looked the last 2 years, it's foolish for somebody not to give him a chance on a veterans minimum.
Absolutely. And that's what I mean. Yeah, which I kind of do believe what you're saying because it doesn't make sense to me.
Because even now with the season being half over, a veterans minimum at the start of the year is like $840,000. Now, if they would sign him, it's only going to cost the team $500,000 now.
Yeah, which is nothing.
Yeah.
Huh.
It just makes no sense unless it's been put unless something has been put out there where Trevor Bauer is just not welcome.
Well, somebody will eventually sign him. Somebody is going to eventually do it.
For sure.
But
I'm not surprised they haven't done it by now. I mean, you're at $500,000. He's playing this well. I mean, that's why I don't know if they will. I really do kind of see where Statguy's coming from because if it was going to happen, it would happen by now. $500,000 is nothing.
Do you think the Dodgers will re-sign him?
I'm surprised the Dodgers haven't because they don't have Kershaw. Walker Buehler has been out basically the last 2 years. He's starting to turn it around. Gavin Stone he's not the long-term answer, and we've seen Dustin May go through constant injuries, and they don't have Shohei. So right now your rotation is basically Tyler Glasnow, Walker Buehler, a bunch of fill-ins until Kershaw comes back in mid-July, and even at that point, you're still 2 starters down heading into the postseason.
Yeah. I mean, I hear it. So it's a matter of,
let's just say they would sign him for a 2-year deal. Even then, your rotation next year in Los Angeles is Glasnow, Bauer, Ohtani, Buehler, and Kershaw.
And Yamamoto, right?
Yeah, and Yamamoto. So you would have Glasnow, Yamamoto, Buehler, Bauer, and whoever else that number. That's what
that'd be a hell of 5.
Top 5.
It'd be a stacked lineup, no question.
Yeah, Yamamoto ain't that good.
Yeah, I don't think he's as good as what they portrayed him.
He'd be the number 4 in their rotation next year. And if he's your number 4 in your rotation, that is the best number 4 in baseball.
No, that's what I was thinking is where he would land in that rotation. Yeah. He is good.
Because
he's not your ace for sure, but I mean, if he's your 4th or 5th guy, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, because it'd be Glasnow, Buehler, and Bauer would be the top 3. Yamamoto would be 4. And then whoever else they want to throw in there, number 5. But that would be the best number 4 in baseball by a long shot.
I don't know. Right now, Christopher Sanchez he's with the Phillies.
Mm-hmm.
Has not let up a home run since like March 29th or something like that. Some
that's
weird.
Your 4th guy?
That's our 4th guy.
Okay.
It's like he's got an ERA of like under 3. Like our rotation is ridiculous.
Actually, no, Yamamoto would be pushed to the 5 next year if Ohtani comes back. Because it'd be Glasnow, Ohtani, Buehler, Bauer, and then Yamamoto if they brought in Bauer.
Yeah, they're not bringing in Bauer though.
Yeah, I know. I'm saying if they did though, all 5 of those starters have a chance to win 15 games, top to bottom in that rotation.
Well, I mean, they are the Dodgers. They spend ridiculous amounts of money.
No, they don't. They just give Shohei an IOU and say, we'll pay you 20 years later.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure they have like a printing press hidden downstairs or something.
Like in Beverly Hills Cop 3 where they're printing the money downstairs. Here we're printing Dodger dollars. Here's your Dodger dollars the next 20 years until we get the real money.
Not falling for the banana in the tailpipe.
Here's Shohei. Here's your face on this wonderful $2 million bill. It's called the Dodger dollar.
Yep. Pretty much.
So jumping away from baseball, going back to football a little bit, I'm gonna address this. I want to hear what you guys think.
Yep.
So, thoughts on Jason Kelsey buying a minority stake in the Eagles?
I mean, to be fair, in his little in his chat about it on his podcast he's like, even a minority stake he probably can't afford. But he did say that he would step away from broadcasting if it meant he could own a piece of the team. And I believe him. I think he would. But
because he could be the director of fun and games there. Like I said, I thought that he should be the president of the Eagles Autism Foundation, because he raises so much money. Like that's the perfect spot for him. That's a public spot. Or at least like the vice president, you know what I mean? So that the president has to do all the work and he's just a figurehead that goes and raises money, because that guy is really printing money right now. He is printing money.
Yes.
Because I got to imagine he's making a lot more. And plus he's a businessman. Obviously, he is one of the owners of our new sponsor of at least the new commercial that we have shown. And I look forward in the future to doing a commercial with him directly on, for Garage Beer, and maybe even have him come on the show for a second if I get that opportunity. I will not be on the show on Monday because I will be with him actually. So I will be yelling and heckling at golfers.
Nice.
So,
bring your air horn like in Jackass.
I wish I had an air horn.
God, I could see Steve Pags coming out of the lake yelling "Jackass."
That's right.
I do have a megaphone though. So
there you go.
That's what I now. So I'm thinking of one-liners to be able to yell at people, and I have a few of them that I think are good one-liners, but yeah, we'll talk about that. We did mention that yesterday. There's Statguy, as I see your message right now.
Did y'all see the Caitlin Clark article on ESPN this morning, where everybody's upset about her not defending her name and in social media, and how her name is being linked into racism and bigotry and all this other stuff?
It's best whoever is telling her to stay away is telling her the right stuff.
Yeah,
do not engage.
Yeah,
do not engage
down that road.
Yeah, she's not even on social media. She doesn't have a Twitter. She doesn't have anything besides Instagram, and she's barely ever on her Instagram anymore.
Yeah,
she's not even on social media at all.
You can't get into those conversations, because if you do, you enter that Kevin Durant world.
Oh yeah.
And I mean, you just can't do it.
I thought if I was her, I wouldn't engage it. It just blows my mind how somebody, who has created none of this and just playing basketball and staying to herself and privatized, be yet the whole world is creating this around her, and it's just, it blows my mind. I love it,
and I hope she chooses Italy over Canada. I really do. I don't want to represent Canada. I would much rather go see you represent Italy and make her an honorary Italian. I mean, I'm Italian. I have it on my arm just in case I forget. I am Italian, so and I would absolutely root for Italy over the Americans.
Right, and I hope she crushes it too, just to show the people that left her off.
Well,
hey,
I think what's going to happen is that the Olympics are much different than the WNBA, and the refs in the WNBA are allowing all of this stuff to occur. The refs in the Olympics aren't going to allow it.
No.
So
I'll see you guys on Monday. I got to go get my kids from summer school.
All right,
be good. I don't understand it. She has got gold medals in the Junior Olympics. How are you leaving somebody who's got gold medals in Junior Olympics off of your squad?
Because she didn't earn the spot.
I don't wear gold chains. Sorry.
She's 13 games into her professional career. Her stat line isn't better than the people that are on the roster.
Taurasi is not that great anymore.
No, I'm talking more
No.
specifically. Like, look at Boston
So-
that came off
so-
of the fever. I think she's better than Boston.
Here's the thing. So if you're comparing her stat line to Taurasi, fair enough, right? Now this is a team that has been practicing together before the Olympics start, right? Once they do their break to get to the Olympics, they're going to have like 7 practices together, and that's it. But if you're comparing her directly to Taurasi, the stat line that they always leave off is the turnovers and the shooting percentage, which does favor Taurasi. The rest of it is actually very similar. But at the end of the day, you're not trying to get a popularity contest. People watch the Olympics anyway. So you're trying to win. Now,
I bet you Italy gets watched a hell of a lot more than the Americans do.
I bet you they do.
maybe. Yeah.
And I think it would be better for the
And what
WNBA.
else
had
what
played.
gets me, and what else gets me is that Griner was now pro-America. Oh my God, I'm so happy. First off, she looks like a dude. You know,
She
looks like a
does.
guy. And now she's all pro-America. Get the frig out of here. You were all of this. Oh, I don't like it here. Yeah. And guess what? Then you got busted. And
Yeah.
it's funny. I don't ever like to, agree with mobsters. You know what I mean? I'm just not a fan of agreeing with mobsters. But Skinny Joey Merlino has a little bit of a podcast, and he posted something about that. And I had to agree with him. That chick does not deserve to be on the Olympic squad. She doesn't.
Right.
And I hope she brings her pop to France and they catch her and they arrest her in jail over there. Put her in jail again.
Man. Show headed to a dark place. I'm with you though.
No, but there is truth to what he's saying. There is a lot of truth to that. You can't just flip one script and then flip another script because you got busted. I mean, I bet she is pro-American because we're the ones that went and rescued her crazy ass.
Right. She could have been there for a long time. And they told her, do not bring this stuff.
Right.
And if you have it, leave it there. If you
Yeah.
were smart enough to get it in or sneaky enough to get it in, don't take it back out. Get a new one at home.
Yeah, smoke it all up and then get on the damn plane.
They were just trying to make an example of somebody.
Right.
They were trying to. And you are like, listen, when I go to Brazil, I didn't care about going to London. You know what I mean? Like I said, if they wanted to arrest me for bringing gummies to London, then I was going to get in trouble. You know what I mean? That's just what it was. Brazil, I ain't playing.
Yeah.
I ain't playing. I'm going to go pot-free in Brazil because I don't want to get thrown into one of those jails.
Mm-hmm.
In London, I feel like that would have, I could have almost talked my way out of it. They're very liberal and they're very, green over there. And I align with some of those thoughts, but not in Brazil.
Yeah.
That's a second world country.
Hey, nobody want to go to jail in Brazil or Mexico or no thanks.
Exactly.
I can tell you right now, you don't want to go to jail in Japan either because Japan has no parole system and their cells are small and they don't give you a whole hell of a lot over there. So I had a friend of mine who did some stupid stuff, got locked up for life. And if he hasn't hung himself by now, he's probably still sitting in that little jail cell, rotting away. And Mama came over there and cried his whole little spiel about this, that, and the other. My thing is this: anybody else over there would have done that in Russia, we would have been stuck in that place forever.
Oh, no question.
We have been stuck in that rotting away. And let me tell you something. What really makes me mad, she said, well, I didn't know. It was an accident, this, that, and the other. No, honey. They tell you a billion freaking times, if you go through that and you get caught, you're going to jail. You can't tell me you didn't know. Come on.
Yeah,
you just thought you could do it and not get caught.
Of course she didn't know. People are still betting on the sport they're in all the major leagues, despite everybody getting suspended over the last 2 years. So apparently things can be wildly obvious and you still don't know, I guess.
Yeah.
Or be a dummy and say, hey, listen, I bet the guy next to me over here that I'd have a faster, I'd get more interceptions than him by the end of the season. You're not allowed to gamble. You just talked about gambling.
Right? Like on the air, what are we even doing right now?
It's a mess. It's a mess out there.
It is. It is.
You know, and it's not getting any better. It's not getting any better. Truth of the matter is that they are going to wind up. They're going to wind up having to do something specific about this gambling in sports.
Oh yeah,
it's going to really. I mean, let's face it. This is not the '90s anymore. They're not going to go tell Michael Jordan, hey, go play baseball for a couple of years so we can let this all go under the rug here and we can figure out how to bury this body that you created. Rick Tocchet and Wayne Gretzky and all this other stuff, same situation. You know, Rick Tocchet was the bookie to the athletes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That was awesome. You know, I love that as he was coaching a team, you know, and being assistant coach and stuff like that.
Yeah, no, I mean, you know, they're handing down year suspensions for guys in the minors. They got a lifetime ban for the guy on the Padres. I mean, it's they're not messing around.
Right. And I tell you, Rob, I have already gotten notice from some people that are nervous about me going to Brazil.
Yeah.
There is, you know, other than Brian's like saying, hey, I'll pay for the green face paint.
Right? He's like,
he's already made a comment about it. He goes, me, I'm praying for green face paint. He's like,
that's right. He's hiding drugs in your bag. Like,
so, yeah, I am. Yeah, it's going to be interesting, obviously, because I am not going. I'm going to go, obviously, and I am going to paint my face the way I always paint my face. So, you know,
let me ask you guys a question. With all the sports betting, though, hey, with all the athletes that have come to light and have bet on sports, I always say for every cockroach you find, there's a million more you didn't find. My theory is, how much do you think? Because now I'm starting to think, is there some shaving of points or left, right, ups and downs within these sport games that we don't know about, so that they can line their pockets maybe for bets that they have?
Certainly with some of the refs, the way you watch them play or the way you watch them call games, I wouldn't rule it out. But man, that hour goes quick. Already at the top of the hour.
You didn't want to answer that question. Is that how it is? I got it at 40%. Actually, I think 40% of players gamble, and whether they're gambling on their own, I'm willing to bet that there is 25% of the NFL play fantasy football.
Oh, I would say it's more than that.
You know, I'm saying, like, because it's a whole different scenario. How do you even have the time? But the Eagles, I'll be honest, the Eagles have a bowling team. You know, there's like 5 guys on a bowling team for, you know, as the Eagles. Yeah, no, and I see. I'm a big proponent of that. A team that drinks together wins together. That's how I feel.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, and that doesn't have to be drinking. You could go and, you know, play horseshoes together. You could play Scrabble together. Who cares?
Whatever. Because you're bonding. You're getting that chemistry together. Right. Yeah.
So I think that. But I wonder how many times they go, I'll bet you I got a better game than you do, and literally that would be considered illegal. So, I mean, there's got to become a better solution here. There has to become a better solution. That they have to get banned from the books. Maybe that's really how it should be. They're going to have to get banned from the books to be able to do this the proper way.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
that is a show. That is another show down in the books. Now for an hour. Now it seems like it's over too quickly. You know, with all this stuff. Right? We went from one to the other. It's so. But listen, guys, everybody, have a great weekend. We will be back. Well, they will be back on Monday. I will not be. Maybe I'll try to call in to show you a little bit about what's happening here. Or maybe that's what I'll do for the second hour. I'll just go live on that and just see all for the second hour of the show, come in and just be like, bam, we got this going on. We're going to be yelling at golfers. So, but everybody,
that'll be hilarious.
Yeah, that will be hilarious. Everybody, have a great weekend, and we'll see you on next week.